So with our lovely Miss P, hi cuteness, we're gonna warm up a little bit with just some Find Its, get her cozy. Ready? Find it. So again, today is her first day at Doggie Day School, unlike her other classmates who have been coming last week as well. So remember, everybody's babe is starting at a different point. We're also dealing with different genetics, different life experiences. So for our little Miss P, for her very first day, not too shabby. She was a little bit unsure in the beginning. She and Mr. G, so Gus, the Golden Retriever puppy, had a few moments to practice near each other. They actually did a little bit of engagement, a teeny bit of play in the morning. I think come Thursday, she's going to feel even more comfortable than obviously her first day at school. So right now you'll see two guys that she's a little bit unsure, so we're just warming up with some lovely Find Its for her. She is dealing with, again, a little bit of a tummy that's feeling a little unwell because she's on some antibiotics. Ready? Find it. So the antibiotics are for her infection that she got, a UTI or something similar. So for the poor little lady, she's dealing with that. Ready? Pepper. So again, Pepper got a little distracted. She's just off sniffing the environment. Yes, what a good girl. So again, she was doing a little bit of play earlier as well. So the panting, she's a little bit unsure, but part of it was also she was doing a little bit of play, which has been really great for her for helping boost some of that comfort. So you'll see that with nervous Nellies or even excitable boys or girls. I like to work these Find Its because it gives your pup a chance to meander through the environment, start to do some little automatic little check-ins with you. What a good girl. We might get that little sit from our gorgeous lady. She's like, hold on. If we have some of that jumping, remember how I mentioned it could be some of those nervousness moments. Some puppies will, when they get a little apprehensive or a little overwhelmed, do the jump up for almost some help or some attention. Find it. So you may find that at times she's not trying to be, again, a naughty lady by doing some jumping, but I know that's one of the topics you guys were having some trouble with. But right now, we're just doing comfort. So I want to practice with her, especially for her first day, just getting in the groove of the fun environment. Nice job. So right here, every time Miss P kind of comes into my bubble, I either mark it with a little yes and feed for her coming near me, or we go ahead and then when she does come near me, do a little Find It, get her to move around the environment and then go, Pepper. Yes, what a good job. Nice work, cuteness. So for her first day in the group, she's doing quite well. I want to see if we can do a little bit of play. I'm not saying tons to get her winded because I know she got a little bit of her cuter little short face, but I know she really liked the flirt pole. So I wanted to also see how toys could be a great way to build comfort and confidence in the new space. She's like, oh my gosh, I haven't smelt it. Smells like other friends have played with it. So if she's a little bit unsure, I always want to keep it on the side of super easy. So remember that if everything is too hard or seems unattainable, we want to work it within the comfort range or ability of the pup. So remember, don't compare your baby to another. I know we discuss this all the time in class, but we want her to feel, again, that within her comfort range, she's being successful. So again, we just kind of wiggle the toy around. She's like, I've almost got it, guys. And I'm not going to make it too hard for her. I want her to be able to feel that the play is something she can handle. So right there, good girl. She's like, I caught the critter. What a nice job. So for her first day, it's definitely going to be building her comfort range, upping her resilience in trying something novel. I know this is her first time away from like mom and dad. Right here, very nice. So, but sometimes what we're going to be working on is not necessarily basic obedience. A lot of times people think, oh, well, your dog just needs more basic skills to be able to do those other harder dynamics. Remember though, when you're working with any time that your babe is feeling unsure about something, it should be the comfort range first, then the skill set. So if let's say we were having a really hard time with loose leash walking because of the fact her comfort range isn't there, then of course we're not going to get loose leash walking if she's darting from one spot to another. We have to have the scary train going by. Yes, nice job, cuteness. She's like, that was a bit spooky, that choo-choo train. So ready? So right now we're just warming up with this reorientation back to me from either the environment or I'm capturing these moments where Miss P is doing a really nice job being near my side. Yes. So remember, in the beginning, I'm not a huge stickler. Like chewing is optional, but I want her to think there's value anytime she comes into my space from this novel environment. So she could be on the left or the right. I really don't care. The main goal is that Miss P is finding it cozy enough to give something a try. Yes, what a good girl. And I know her tummy's feeling a little bit off because I know you mentioned she could have a little bit of loose stool. She had, again, a smaller bowel movement, but not a full one because I think she's a little bit unsure being here compared to home for now. But I do have some baby wipes because it was a little bit messy on her back end. So there we go. Nice job. Good girl. But I know just like with anything, sometimes taking those, very strong antibiotics will throw your tummy for a loop. And even though she's on probiotics, her tummy still just doesn't feel so perfect. Ready? So right here, we're just working a little bit. I love it when the snacks fall out of her jowls and just right onto the floor. What a good girl. So again, we're not as peppy as usual because she doesn't have the support of mom and dad quite yet. But remember, anytime you try something new for the first time, it may not be perfection. It's more sort of progress. So remember everybody's comfort range. I know there's a few videos that I've done prior with some other dogs that were very sensitive. So remember that your main goal for babes that are a little uncomfortable is making sure they feel safe while trying these new things, or even just feeling safe while just hanging out. Ready? Find it. So we will go ahead and kind of, again, work a few more little skills. She was doing awesome earlier too with some of her lovely setups with some sits and some eye contact. And we'll work a few more skills. But I wanted to sort of show how we kind of warm up with some of those find its, and then working a little bit with the flirt pole, and then working a little bit that positive interrupter. But again, I don't think she's feeling 100%. Which could be also throwing in a little bit of her feelings of discomfort slightly. So I'm not saying that she's, doing poorly. She's doing really nice for her first day. But I always like to remind folks that sometimes if your babe is also not feeling great and maybe they're on medication, and then now it's like a lot of novelty on top of more novelty, it can be a little bit of that trigger stacking or sort of one thing after another. So I think she's doing perfectly fine for her first little rodeo, but just things to remember when we're practicing or working with her in other bubbles as well. Ready? Pepper. Yes, what a good girl. So give our little Miss P a little break from this, working those find its and working some engagement with me, and we'll work another couple skills in just a moment.